Hello, let me introduce to you one of the best knife makers we have in Europe. He's too modest to cite himself, but everybody knows Alessio Salsi, Alex for the Dutch. Italian roots, but still living in Belgium, and well known in Holland too. And I'd like to know what made you start with knives.
I was always passionate with knives till I was a little child. Always had a little knife in my pocket when I walked to the woods. And years later, I met a Dutch knife maker, Gert van den Elzen, and he introduced me to his work. I was really surprised what knives can be made by hands. And at the end of the day, he sold me a piece of Damas steel, because he did always everything with hands and files, stock removal, like they say. So the first knife I made from this steel was a dagger blade I still have. And later I met German knife maker and metallurgist Achim Wirtz. He introduced me to the world of the forge. So I looked how he worked on a forge day, and I came back home and started to forge my own blades, did my own treatments and mounting my own handles. I've learned it over the years all by myself. Also looked some examples of knife makers that I had a lot of respect of. One of my weakness points is I use many times expensive materials for the handles, what makes that the knife normally should be at higher price, but I try always to ask a fair price for the work I made. Mostly it's too cheap, but for me it's not the money what counts, but the passion, and I like the work. I like making knives. And I'm very happy if there's customers that came back from a hunt trip and said, your knife is really, really awesome. So this is the biggest present that they can make to me. And
your knives are very beautiful and fancy, but
yeah,
primarily they're functional. They are.
I try always to put some elegance and functionality in my knives. Sometimes too much decorated, but that's a kind of mark of me. I like to make things that looks nice, but first of all they must do a job on the field. So I always test every blade I made before I mount a handle. A lot of blades I have broken in the past years, so you learn every time. Like they said, nobody is perfect, so you can do 20, 30 years knives. Doesn't mean that your knives are all perfect. There can be happen something between heat treatment or I don't know what. First of all, if I make a knife blade, I must be completely 100% sure that I know the steel, what kind of heat treatment must be done on the steel, and what kind of work you can do with the steel. So if I know everything is okay, I start to make the blade. It has no meaning if you make a nice blade, a nice handle, but you don't even know what kind of steel you've used or what heat treatment must be done. So the only thing you can do with this knife is put it behind, I don't know, a crank or what you call it, in the mirror. You look every day to the knife. But
the biggest compliment is when they use it.
Yeah, exactly. It's very important not only to make a knife and sell the knife. The most important thing you have to do, if you sell a knife, okay, everybody needs the money, I agree with this. But suppose somebody buy a knife and he go on a hunting trip, killing bear or I don't know what. A knife is a tool. You must be 100% sure of the tool you have in your hands. If the knife breaks and you are in the middle of nowhere, I was hunting in Canada, 80 kilometers square, nobody's land. First village at 300 kilometers. If you have a knife with you to use and it breaks, you can no more making fire at night. You cannot cut down an animal. You have nothing, only your rifle. Yeah. So the rifle is very important, or a bow. But first of all, the tool that you need to cut and to survive is a knife. Yeah. I put a lot of importance in this, so I don't gonna feel me very well if I know that a blade was broken by a customer. It never happened till now, But like I said, you can never sell. It can happen.
Yeah.
So
Alessio, well, it's a bit of celebration because it's your 25 years jubilee. How do you look back on that period?
I still enjoy it, but I have some bad periods in my life also. But all by all, it saved a little bit my life. I'm a guy has almost a lot of time of my life I was depressed, and the knife making keep me out of troubles. So I'm lucky that I have a good wife, very patient with me. But there was a period in my life that I was always busy with my knives, and to everybody that start making knives, it's like a drug. When you start, you never stop.
Yeah.
And there is not only knife making in this life. You must enjoy life first of all, and in the free time, it's good to make something that you like to do. And in my case, it's knife making. So it's 25 years ago. I'm very happy that I make my knives. I make it with joy, sometimes with pain. But like I told, it saved a little bit my life. Yes.
Well, you can't see the knives, you don't see any bad periods because they're all
Yes,
fun to watch and look at. They're all perfect. And when you make a knife, you make a sheet like nobody else can. They are all that beautiful made.
Yeah, there was a special experience with leatherworking. Many years ago, I wanted to start my first sheet. I don't have any clue where I can buy some leather, so I had a very old leather bag somewhere in the place. But the leather was almost rotten and too dry. So like I told, I make my first sheet. And a couple of weeks later, I met somebody that told me there's a store nearby where I can buy some leather for leatherwork. So I go to the store. There was a young woman with an older woman in the store. And I asked to the young woman, later I know it was her daughter, that I needed some leather to make a knife sheet. So she said, okay, I'm going to call my mom. She's behind at the desk. So this woman came to me. I was very proud to show her my first sheet. So she looked at me. She said, what kind of shit you have made here? I said, what do you mean? You made the sheet, she told me. I said, yes, I was very proud. So what do you like about this work? You satisfied? I said, yeah, I think so. For my first sheet, it's not bad. So she looked at my eyes and she said, with a smile on her face, you want to know my opinion? I said, yes, please. So, okay, I'm going to tell you my opinion. This looks really like shit. So, the first thing she said to me, she said, are you angry or sad to me? I said, no, I like that you tell me like this in my face, but can you please tell me what I did wrong? So she asked me, what do you think? I said, I don't know. Look the leather. Yes, it's too dry, it's rotten. Yeah, okay. The stitch, how did you do it? I say, with a drill, with a hand drill. Yes, but look the stitch, it's not equal. And I said, okay, tell me what I have to do. So she said, I can tell you on one condition. You listen if I tell to you what you have to do. I said, sure. Okay, now I'm curious. First of all, you need good leather. You take a piece of leather, quality leather. Second of all, the wire that you take to make the stitch, it must be this kind of. And you need something to make a nice, even stitching equally from stitch. You need this tool and this tool. So she gave me some basic tools. I paid. 2 weeks later, I came back with my first sheet, and she said, oh, this is very nice. You know somebody that made it for you? I said, no, I don't know nobody. I made it by myself. So she was very impressed. And many years later, I still see this wife, this woman, and always she greets me, and I show her my work, and she said, I'm very, very glad that I was so cruel to you, so to tell you that you make shit. So you know why I did it. I know, I understand. But you have to realize that this person did it for a good meaning, but it depends from the person if you accept it or not. If she had told me that it was perfect, I still make the shit.
Yeah. Well, I never saw shit of your sheets because I don't know if you improved, but the sheets I've seen from you.
Yeah,
from
sometimes
beginning to the end.
the work on the sheets takes more time than making
Yeah.
the knife. So many people don't understand. They tell you, oh, but it's only a piece of leather. Okay, it can be a piece of leather, but first of all, it's all with exotic inlay mostly, hand stitched. So every sheet is unique. No one makes two the same. I don't do it. I try to make some colors that match the handle materials.
Yeah.
So you have a nice picture at the end.
As we have no shows and expositions for Corona problems, we have our own show, and we'll show the whole collection which is available. And at the end of this interview, we'll show you the links and the ways to connection to Alessio.
Okay, the knife I show here is a fighter. It's made from a forged C105 blade with a carbon steel guard and ebony handle. Vegetal tanned leather, sheet covered with stingray. The knife is available and the price I ask for it is €950. Okay, we have a Bowie that I made with a sheet with ostrich leather inlay. The blade is a 5-bar torsion Damascus with a high polish carbon steel guard and a Hawaiian koa handle. This knife is for sale for €1,400. Okay. Here we have a big Bowie, vegetal tan leather sheet, handmade, hand stitched with hornback crocodile inlay. Blade, it's ultra forged steel with a carbon steel guard and a sambar star horn handle. Ultra forged is a kind of steel. I don't know what you call it.
Anti-tank?
Anti-blind steel. So it has a sophisticated heat treatment. It must be heated at 500 degrees Celsius for 7 hours. So it's a very, very tough steel. Very, very, very tough knife. I asked for this knife €1,350. What we have here is a Bowie knife with a Mexican loop sheet, so you can put the knife out and hang it on a belt. Hand stitched vegetal tanned leather, ostrich leather inlay. The blade is a 12-bar torsion Turkish Damascus with a carbon steel guard, copper spacer, and whitetail handle. Mosaic Damascus back piece. The asking price for this knife is €1,700. This guy is a big Bowie with a hand stitched vegetal tanned leather sheet with ostrich leg inlay. The blade, hand forged C105 steel, clay hardened. carbon steel guard, copper spacers, and Turkish walnut handle. It's a big knife, very useful. The asking price is €1,450. Next knife, Bowie knife, hand stitched sheet with emu leather inlay. Knife blade, carbon steel 125/19, carbon steel guard, and Australian Richard GG handle. This knife is for sale for €950. Another Bowie, hand stitched seat with bullfrog inlay leather. Blades, hand forged 125 SC carbon steel, clay hardened, with a carbon steel guard, 5,000 years old bog oak handle. Knives for sale for €750. Camp knife, vegetal tan and leather sheet, diamondback snake inlay. The blade is forged C105 steel, carbon steel guard, some acrylic stuff, it's glue in the dark like it's called, and an ebony handle. The knife is for sale for €650. Hello guys, another Bowie knife, hand stitched vegetal tanned leather with piton leather inlay. Blade, forged carbon steel 125 SC with a carbon steel guard, Australian Richard GG handle. This knife is for sale for €950. So guys, here we have a typical Viking knife. Vegetal tan and leather sheet with brass plates inlay. Knife is a 2-bar torsion with a layer between carbon steel and C130 carbon steel cutting edge. Bronze guard, moose antler horn handle. This knife is for sale for €585. Hunting knife, basket wave stamp vegetal tanned leather. The blades, carbon steel, 3 different kind of steel, 300 layers, with a copper guard, warthog tusk spacer, and the stabilized buckeye burl handle. This knife is for sale for €650. Little bit modern style Pukko with a vegetal tanned sheet, dangler. Mosaic Damascus blade. I don't make the blade myself. It's made by Russian bladesmith Gregory Verisnikov with Mosaic Damascus guard and Warthog's ivory spacer. The handle is Richard Gigi Australian hardwood. This knife is for sale for €950. Okay guys, little fighter, vegetal tanned leather sheet with elephant leather citrus pipers with it, sheet. Blade, Dama steel, 120 layers blade with a high mirror polish guard. Muskox scales, it's a frame construction. The asking price for this knife is €950. Okay guys, you have a big Pukko. The sheet, vegetal tanned leather covered with stingray. Blade made by Russian bladesmith Gregory Verisnikov. It has spacers from nickel silver and desert ironwood. The handle is walrus tusk ivory. The asking price for this knife is €1,200. Little knife here we have with a vegetal tanned leather sheet and elephant leather inlay. The blade is a half integral forged 01 steel with a carbon steel polished guard and a Warthog tusk handle. This knife is for sale for €550. Hunting knife, vegetal tanned leather sheet, blade, carbon steel Damascus, 3 different kind of steel. The guard, carbon steel with stabilized spotted maple handle. This knife is for sale for €585. Hunting knife, vegetal tanned leather sheet, lizard skin inlay, blade hand forged C105 steel, carbon steel guard. The wood I don't know anymore, but it's stabilized kind of wood. This knife is for sale for €485. Another hunting knife, guys, vegetal tanned leather sheet, basket with motif. Blade, it's carbon steel C105 with a carbon steel guard, high polished and stabilized buckeye burl handle. This knife is for sale for, like you see the price, €450. Another hunting knife, vegetal tanned leather sheet. The blade, 300 layers, wild pattern Damascus, 2 different kinds of steel, a carbon steel guard and no, it's the wood, it's spotted maple handle. This knife is for sale for €550. Another little Bowie, some decoration on it, patinated leather, vegetal tanned leather. has a carbon steel blade, 3 different kinds of steel, copper guard, reindeer horn spacer, and stabilizer buckeye burl wood. I asked for this knife €650. Little Scandi Pukko, Karelian birch sheet with leather. The handle also Karelian birch. The blade 135 chrome 3 steel, carbon steel. Asking price €150. Here we have another Scandi leather sheet with wooden inner part. 135 chrome 3 carbon steel blade with a Karelian birch handle. Asking price €180. Another little necker Scandi leather sheet with wooden inner part. Blade I made from a forged old file, mosaic Damascus inlay, Karelian birch handle. The asking price €160. Another Scandi Pukko knife, leather sheet, wooden inner part, blade 300 layers torsion Damascus, sterling silver copper stern pattern Mokumegane front part. The handle is torsion filet reindeer horn with silver wire inlay, nickel silver back part. Asking price €550. Another Pukko knife with a leather sheet, wooden inner part, blade forged carbon steel 135 chrome 3, reindeer horn Karelian birch nickel silver parts for the handle, bare head. Asking price €485. Some old school knives, frontierman style knife. The sheet, it's made from vegetal tan leather covered with buffalo hide and deer hide. Some aged iron pipes, horsehair, and Indian glass beads. They are old, 19th century. Blade, high carbon steel, blued with copper guard and back part. Staghorn handle. Asking price for the knife €485. Neck knife, rawhide, buffalo hide, horsehair, bone pipes, forged old file, copper, samba stag, Mokumegane back part. I ask for this little knife €300. Another little beauty, also neck knife, rawhide, buffalo hide, horsehair. The knife, Damascus blade, brass front part, and samba stock handle. Ask price €350. Another little Indian neck dagger, deerskin hide, horse pipe, glass beads, horns. It's a little dagger forged from an old fire blade. Brass guard, back part, samba stock handle. €300 for the beauty. Old school friction folders, frontierman style, neck. The sheet I made from deer hide and buffalo hide. Friction folder. old file, clay hardened blade, some file work on it. Bolsters are made from C45. Scales are pre-bound ivory with sides paper. Ask price for this little beauty, €550. There we go. Another neck knife frontal style folding, friction folder. Staghorn handle scales and copper bolsters. The blade I made from mosaic Damascus and the spacers too. The Damascus was made by German knife maker Achim Wirth. Thank you, Achim. The asking price for this knife is €750.
Well, I think you agree this is a massive, interesting collection, and I think if you're interested too, you can find in the description box the links to contact Alessio, and he'll be willing to offer you all the details. Well, Alessio, thank you for your time and showing your collection,
Yes.
and hope to see you again with new work.
I hope so. I will thank you also for this kindly reports interview. And like they told before, if you need some information about my work, you can always contact to the person that made the interview. Thank you very much. I wish you all a good evening.